It's not location, location, location. It's transit, transit, transit.
I have a feeling that down the road, the 0.5 will probably go up and the waste will just continue.
Downtown, you'll have 7-minute service. Out here, it's 15, 20, 30-minute service.
Why should we give more tax as it is? They raised it from where to where. Now see the prices.
I'm Leah Bolton.
I'm Atwal.
Fraser Focus, a fresh perspective beyond the bridge.
Hello and welcome to Fraser Focus, giving the South Fraser and Fraser Valley regions a voice. I'm Leah Bolton.
And I'm Dean Atwal, and on this edition, the focus will be on transportation. We'll be taking you around the Fraser Valley, taking a look at traffic congestion, an unused park and ride, and investigating one of our oldest bridges.
It's a historic time in the Fraser region in regards to transit. Elections Canada is asking voters to decide on a new tax,
which could pave the way for the future of local transportation.
TransLink wastes too much of your money to be trusted with any more of it. This is a $1.4 billion a year organization that's really good at only one thing, raising our taxes.
Do you like the SkyTrain, Claire?
I like SkyTrain, Claire.
I've been using it since I was a kid, and well, she's almost 3, so every day since then. So yeah, we use it quite regularly.
And what are your thoughts on the plebiscite? You know, that 35 cents a day additional tax to increase or build upon the transit structure?
I think it's a good idea, especially for the areas where we normally don't get buses, like where I live in Newton. Before, it'd be an hour, hour and a half before you'd even see a bus, and now it's about 10 minutes.
A lot of beeping, but we have our passes.
Love to see the improvements. If they could pull off the improvements that they're planning on doing, that would be wonderful. But I have a feeling that down the road, the 0.5 will probably go up and the waste will just continue.
But if we say no, then it's also going to be a problem.
Well, you know what? If they say no, they'll scramble to come up with another plan. And I'm hoping this will put them scare them into actually doing something properly.
It's not location, location, location. It's transit, transit, transit.
When we talk about Vancouver and Surrey and transit options that are available, there must be a percentage.
Well, I know we have the 3rd highest per capita use of transit in North America after New York and Toronto.
And TransLink covers all of the Low Mainland, pretty much the Metro Vancouver.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it. It's one agency that has all modes of transportation, one fare.
We went the wrong way the first time, so now...
It's Pavlovian. It's a train. I must get on it.
Here's the problem. We add more transit. Now we're so confused. We don't know which way to go.
Yeah, that's a real problem. All has to be integrated.
Yeah, because you have to connect. You have to get off one,
it's like
jump
having
onto another.
C-Bus and West Coast Express and SkyTrain and trolley buses, B-lines, and be able to use the same card.
Ah, there's the secret right there.
Ah, yes,
that's
one
the
card.
pass.
And that's what will happen with Compass. It's got its teething problems, and people are saying, well, it's an indication that the organization doesn't know how to spend its money. On the whole, it does. In fact, we take it for granted. It doesn't run deficits, and it actually delivers projects pretty much on time.
They pay 2 CEOs $70,000 every month. Or they waste money on things like a Main Street poodle on a pole, things that don't move a single person a single inch. Or the Compass cards, a system that's now years late and as much as $100 million over budget. TransLink does not deserve your trust, and they do not deserve to be rewarded with more of your money.
But if people think that it's they're sending a message to TransLink,
Yeah.
no, they're voting against money for transit.
People vote no for this transit system, and they really say that this isn't a plan B. It really will impact the way...
Oh, there's a plan B.
Oh, there is a plan B. Okay,
yeah.
we've got the plan B.
Roads, bridges, more cars.
No, so...
I mean, what choice do you have?
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's go on the SkyTrain. Ooh, just made it.
I sincerely believe that Vancouver needs to, and Surrey, especially Surrey, really needs to upgrade their transit infrastructure. I hope that all the funds from the additional tax money goes directly to transit, but I also think that the executives need to take a serious pay cut.
Here we are. When we built the Port Mann Bridge in, I think, 1964, we made this part of the region, south of the Fraser, the bedroom up north of the Fraser.
How so?
Well, this is primarily residential development. There wasn't a lot of industry. To find a job, you had to get across the river, and when there wasn't much of a population on this side, that was fine. What's amazing here, and we're now literally watching this transformation, is we're creating a real downtown, the second downtown for Metro Vancouver. In my mind, because this is where the future is being shaped. This is the most exciting place in Metro Vancouver, and it's possible because of this. After all, when SkyTrain came across the river, this then became the second regional center. That was
for
absolutely
Vancouver.
clear, because we'd made this investment in SkyTrain. Now, light rail extends it out to Langley, down eventually to White Rock, South Surrey, immediately, if this passes, over to Guildford. So Surrey's already done the zoning and the planning. It knows what it wants.
Right.
Full marks for that.
The mayors could have funded their entire transportation plan simply by earmarking 0.5% of their annual growth rate towards it. They would still get more than 4% every single year for their local city halls, but they'd be putting the money towards what they call an important regional priority of all.
So you think plebiscite yes if we really want to?
Well, I think it's
shape.
actually a pretty good deal.
You think it's a pretty good deal?
For 35 cents a day?
So if we say no, we're in big trouble.
It's not a decision where if you don't do it, you're in big trouble. We will spend money. We will have to spend money, and it'll be way more than what this referendum is proposing. But here's a package that proposes lots of different choices for getting around the region. I mean, Surrey could go ahead and build light rail, but what's it connect to?
Right.
It's a single system. It connects
What's it
Langley
part
to
of?
Surrey. It's a temporary patch solution is what it seems
And
to
who's
be.
going to run it? It may be possible for Surrey, for instance, to use development dollars to build the line, but who's going to run it?
Right.
Well, if TransLink doesn't have any more money, well, does it take service from somebody else in order to provide more service there? That's a tough political decision and necessary. And here's our next train.
The one on the back.
It's an old one.
Oh, you wanted to get on the new one? Well, that's another thing that's in the referendum. It's new SkyTrain cars, new cars for West Coast Express. Here we are, we're going down the steps, and we can see right over here all of the connections by bus that take us to the rest of this municipality, rest of south of the Fraser. And it's the frequency of that which is just as important.
Oh, you hear that?
When we talk about the makeup, in particular the immigration patterns into the Lower Mainland, a lot of these individuals come from countries where they don't have those transit options or they don't know about that infrastructure. So coming here and the government saying, you know, give me a little bit more of your money and I'll give you some more buses, and they still don't know if they want to settle here or not.
Well,
it's probably going to have a massive impact on the decision.
How would you like us to take the money? We can do it through tolls for new roads and bridges. We can do it through congestion in your time.
So the money's going to come either way.
We can do it through the accidents that occur as traffic density increases, and you pay for healthcare. You know, I don't think you get out of this life without paying one way or the other. This is, again, it's a question about the kind of place you want.
Right.
It's that bigger picture.
Yeah, globally, not just here.
Yeah, I understand why people say, well, clean up your act, show me you can spend the money well today. I think you can make a pretty good demonstration, you know, that this was worth the money.
Yeah.
And that we're probably going to do okay.
The original SkyTrain in the Lower Mainland was built in 1985 before the big Expo event, the Expo line. Since then, 2 additions have been made.
That's right, the Millennium Line came in 2002, and with the Winter Olympics in 2010, we had the addition of the Canada Line. Now, there is talk of more lines to follow.
Next up, we'll be hopping on a bus and exploring more transportation issues in Surrey. Stay tuned to Fraser Focus. Thanks for the ride.
You're welcome. This exchange is a busy exchange and there's no public washroom.
Welcome back to Fraser Focus, local places and local faces.
Before the break, we took a ride on the SkyTrain and we took a look at some of the transportation issues that we have.
In this next segment, we hop on a bus and hear the voices of locals from the Surrey area.
We're getting more and more wheelchairs, more and more strollers. The passenger loads, like I said, when school's in with SFU, and we're overloaded. People are standing on a daily basis. Increased service increases the happiness of the passengers.
But what about the tax? How are people responding to the fact that they'll have to pay a little bit more in taxes to get these services?
The ridership is more for the referendum plebiscite. People in cars, I believe, are not, but they don't understand. A better Petula Bridge, less congestion. From what I understand, they said that an average person who commutes 30 minutes, they can knock that down to about 20 with congestion alone. 5 minutes, yeah. Well, that's loading time, that's everything, right?
What's the community saying? Like, what are the common questions you get?
I think the major question we get on a daily basis is, you know, you're late, you're busy, we've passed by people, specifically out in Surrey Central, the 502 routing.
How does transit here or driving a bus here compare to, say, driving a bus or what you've learned in the Lower Mainland? How about on this side of the bridge?
Oh, this side of the bridge, everything is very spread out. There's long distances between everything. Downtown, you'll have 7-minute service. Out
Right.
here, it's 15, 20, 30-minute service.
Yes, sir, I know.
So we're gonna take the bus to Newton, right?
We go
All
to
right.
Newton?
We're gonna check out the transit from our point of view. All right,
Newton
let's
Exchange,
go.
one of the busiest exchanges in Surrey. How do you feel about the tax, though? The tax that you're going to have to pay for the transit? Are you for it or against it, and why?
The taxes, if they are utilized for the benefit of the passengers, you know,
Yeah.
it's really good. You take a little bit taxes, then not a problem. But the thing is, we need more buses, the more transportation, and the more roads are required. As such as you can see on Scott Road, we need queue jumpers there too.
So the
we
buses
are-
have priority lanes, priority
lanes,
access
yeah,
to the
yeah,
roads,
yeah.
get you around a lot quicker,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
out of the way of cars.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
that will save a lot of time.
Thank you.
Are we there yet? What about being full? Do you ever not make it on, especially since you have this, right?
Yeah, sometimes there's too many strollers, but that's depending on the day. Other times I normally make it on the bus, so.
It's not a big issue.
They're talking about the transit tax. Do you know about that?
I won't support that.
You don't support it?
No, why should you give a more tax? As it is, they raised it from where to where. Now see the prices. Now I'm retired, I got that card, but I see the people, it is too much. $5 for one way to go to downtown.
But what if it brings more buses on and you don't have to wait as long, the tax?
If they raise our pension, then I'm agreed to it. But we don't having any raise for years, and that little pension money, as it is so hard to live, and then to pay something like bus and all, it is too much for us.
How much do you think a year that will cost you?
I don't know, a year, month to month I live.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's $134 per person average per year.
Oh
so
gosh,
this is not even more than 35 cents a day.
No,
It's
it
just
is.
a year.
You thinking like that way, see, like this, you hardly get $1,200 a month. You pay your rent, you pay your...
No, I totally agree with you.
It
That
is,
there's things, but if we
it is
improve,
very tough. Now government, why can't their
If they-
expense down and give us a more?
if there's no
Then
tax,
we are the public, we'll
But
pay
if there's-
more happily
No,
we'll
but
do
the thing
it.
is, if there's no tax, then there's no pension too, right?
If
So-
they don't know taxes all this time, why don't they give us a more pension?
I like it. Thanks for the ride.
You're welcome.
This exchange is a busy exchange and there's no public washrooms.
So if you've been on the bus for a while and you get off for a break, then what do you do?
I have to walk to Newton Pool. It takes about 10 minutes, or there's a portable washroom here now.
And then in that case, you might miss your bus, right?
That's right. This Newton Exchange will be upgraded, and there will be a washroom. That's the plan for the
that's
next
a
year.
good idea.
Yeah.
All it takes is a little bit of sidewalk work during rush hour, and that could back up all the way to King George Highway. So not uncommon to lose 4 to 5 minutes just sitting in traffic there. Well, on service like this one, it's 10-minute service.
Right.
Now you have two buses going down the line together.
What kind of delays are we talking here in rush hour?
Oh, you're talking an easy 5-6 minutes. If it's backed up all the way to King George Highway, you're not only missing the lights, it could back right up to Newton Exchange there. So, I mean, that's a half a mile down the road.
Thank you very much. Thanks, sir.
The people, they want the transit, but they're against the tax.
Yeah, there's a lot of concerns on paying for something that people might not get. You never know. You say yes to it, who knows what it goes towards.
But it sounds like these people want the cars off the road, they want the dedicated lanes,
Yes.
They need the infrastructure for their kids.
Yeah, most people are for it if it benefits them and makes a change. Because the changes need to be made. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So there you have it, a few things for us to work on here in the Fraser region. In regards to the plebiscite though, I think I'm hearing mostly yeses so far.
I think you're right. However, voters still have a bit of time before they have to make their decision.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to explore some of the issues that people are concerned about.
We are coming up with a plan where we can improve the traffic flow.
Welcome back to Fraser Focus, bringing you stories from beyond the bridge, local places and local faces.
Before the break, we had a listen to the concerns of individuals from the Fraser Valley about transportation and transit in the area. Now we take a look at some of the challenges experienced over the last 6 months.
Starting with congestion.
This is a recording from when there was a crash that happened on Highway 1, and you can see the queues are all the way to the top of the hill. This is on 96th Avenue. What happened was there was a crash and there was long queues. We changed the signal timings.
Surrey is growing at a rapid rate. Stats say 1,200 new residents every month for the next 30 years. Traffic flow has become an issue, so what's the plan?
The single next most important thing we do as a city in terms of building a city is transportation. We've got to take care of the congestion. Overall goal is to get 27 kilometers of light rail built to alleviate congestion through the utilization of our intelligent traffic system, and to get the 152 and 99 interchange as a full interchange.
You see the arrows right now over there, so that shows that we do communicate with the signal on a real-time basis.
It shouldn't take me half an hour to go from here, 104 and King George, all the way up to 72nd.
They're controlling it more. Do you think that'll help?
I mean, regardless, though, I mean, the amount of traffic that goes and the amount of the Patello Street Bridge in the morning, it's backed up regardless. Like, I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's an accident on the bridge, it's raining, people don't slow down.
I don't drive anymore. I drove here over 40 years, so I mean,
You're done. How was the traffic when you were driving?
Oh, it was a lot easier.
We are coming up with a plan where we can improve the traffic flow in order to respond to these incidents around the city.
The city of Surrey says the first phase of light rail will be completed by 2018, and since then, 75 more cameras have been added.
Next up, we take a look at a park and ride which is getting the wrong type of attention. People parked on both sides of King George Highway.
Look at this, big lineup, and this is far from the parking lot.
The problem is they're charging $2 a day to park here and have completely misread their customers in South Surrey. And in fact, there's another lot that used to be chock-a-block full. They brought in this parking fee, and now it's about 20-25% empty most of the time.
According to locals, the South Surrey Park and Ride used to be packed. However, a decision was made to expand the lot and toll it.
After spending $4.5 million, the lot now sits empty.
There's not a single person in this lot. It's completely empty.
TransLink manages this parking lot. It was paid for with provincial government dollars, $4.5 million, and this is my 5th visit. I've yet to see a paying customer in this lot. But the problem is, this isn't downtown Vancouver, and have completely misread their customers in South Surrey.
There's your ticket.
$2 a day just increased my transit cost by 25%. Like, if they did 25 cents a day, this parking lot would be full.
I think for the people who were using this lot and it was free before, they're a little ticked off.
$4.5 million is what they spent
Is
on
that
it.
what it costs?
So what are your thoughts there?
Ridiculous. What a waste of money.
Well, I've seen a lot less parking in this parking lot.
The community consensus is to reduce the toll or eliminate it altogether.
However, the BC government expects over 1 million people to move into the area in the next 30 years.
You're watching Fraser Focus. Stay with us. Coming up, the sky is falling.
In the morning, there's more trucks than it is in the afternoon. But once you pass the bridge, you can barely get by down the hill of the Scott Road.
Since the tolling of the nearby Portman Bridge, there has been an increase in traffic on the Patello Bridge, 76 years old, and the free alternative. However, debris the size of this rock has been reported falling from the underside of this structure.
What happens is the steel inside the bridge could rust, and that loses adhesion with the concrete, and so we start seeing what we call spalling. We've noticed more of that recently, and we decided to put netting where we've been seeing the concrete fall off to make sure that no one gets hurt. So 3 sections on the Surrey side, the main span over the river, and a couple of sections on the New West side.
What's falling is coming off the cement itself, off the girders and things. It's not structural. The bigger trouble is we think the trucks that are pounding at it day after day. Because if you look at your television every morning, it tells you now where the backups are, and most of them are, a lot of them are in New Westminster.
I can see how this would be intimidating. It's the middle of the day and I'm right now surrounded by trucks. Why do you use the Patello instead of the Portman?
Because it's cost me on going over the Portman.
I am definitely ready for a solution for TransLink. I'd like to see them do something, improve the infrastructure.
Transportation is a hot topic out here in the Fraser region, so I'm glad we had a chance to get out there and talk to the public.
Agreed, with the population growing in strides, the infrastructure needs attention to detail.
And that wraps up our episode of Fraser Focus, bringing local stories from beyond the bridge.
And remember, if you have a story you'd like us to tell, please feel free to contact us. I'm Dean Atwal.
And I'm Leah Bolton. Thanks for watching.